This will be part 1 of my spoilery review of Outlander Season 7, Episode 7. If you are looking to avoid spoilers for the episode or the books, please do keep on scrolling. So we've reached the penultimate episode of the first half of Season 7, and this was a big one. There's a lot of book content to break down. There's a lot of things I liked, things I didn't like so much, so let's talk about it. We open in 1777 at a place called Bemis Heights, New York, which is right outside of Saratoga, and Jamie has officially joined Daniel Morgan's Rifles, and we see Claire writing a letter to Brianna. And as Claire's voiceover dictates the contents of the letter, we switch quickly to Lallybroch in 1980 Scotland. Just as a side note, I really love how they have so many handwritten items that you know somebody in the continuity department took the time to handwrite. I just love those details. When we cut to Lallybroch, this picks up almost immediately where we left off. Evidently, Bree was upstairs when Roger ran out the door after Buck at the end of the last episode, and we finally get the long-awaited conversation between these three. And I had been saying this for a while. I was very curious how the writers were going to play off the fact that Graham McTavish played Buck in season 5 and he was very old, and now we have a very young version of him, and it seems like the show is just going to act like that didn't happen and that Buck Benjamin buttoned himself. When we get the title card for the episode, we see a very up-close view of Jemmy's scarf that he has on at school and the pin that he gets from his teacher. And this pin says the Tufty Club on it, and it has a little cartoon squirrel. That is a show from the 60s where they were focusing on road safety and education for little kids, so that is a nod to that show. And as we know by the end of the episode, this is very important in terms of foreshadowing. When we cut back to Roger, Bree, and Buck, Buck is explaining to them that he had traveled back to Glasgow because his family was in need of money and Morag's brother needed a clerk, and having been previously a lawyer, Buck was qualified to go back and do that for his brother-in-law. And while they passed Craignadoon, he heard the buzzing, so the next day he curiously went back to the stones and accidentally fell through them. We also get the explanation as to why he was being so creepy hiding out in their yard, and he tells Roger, "You were hanged, you were supposed to be dead, and then I suddenly see you in this magical world that I'm so unfamiliar with. I didn't know who or what I was dealing with." That is all very true to the books. If you want to go back and watch my character profile on Buck Mackenzie, I go into further detail of what exactly happens in the book with him specifically, and I'm already out of time, so come back for part 2.